Let's see. I read Beedle the Bard earlier. I didn't read all the stories. I can read a Beedle the Bard, or you can ask me questions, or we can do both, or that's really your only options. Or we can order a pizza. We can change this to like pizza with Snape. You know, if somebody has a phone and an app and wants to put it in order, I'm not paying. But I would not be against that. I'll put that on the roster for next year. Huh? Would you like to know what I'm wearing? That's one of my favorite questions. So you're going to the ball. What are you going to wear? What's your formal outfit look like? I said this earlier. I'm going to say this again. 7 books, 8 movies, 1 outfit. Thank you. It makes for those of you who are too young to remember, but there was a cartoon. Yes, the buttons is because that's part of the outfit. See, it's in the movie, therefore it's here. Don't ruin the illusion for the kids. Let's just pretend that I really am Snape, and it's because I am Snape. I said this at another con once, but if I whisper in the microphone, they can still hear me. Okay? Shh. Shh. Somebody commented at the last panel, they're like, everybody was making this ruckus, and the room was 2/3 full, and you went, silence! Everything just stopped. Like, how do you do that? And it's like, because I'm Snape. It's the only place in the world where I can do that. I walked by the Dragon Cafe earlier, and some people had cotton candy ice cream cones, and I walked by. And the one friend looked at our other friend, and they're like, Snape just stole your ice cream. And the other person went, well, what do I do? It was delicious. If you haven't had it, it's good. It's even better when you steal it. Stealing is wrong. Don't do that. Is what I would say if I was a Hufflepuff. Which clearly I am not. Sorry. You're a Hufflepuff. All right, just yes. I can read one if you'd like. Do you want to hear me read a story? Which one do you want to hear me read? I don't want to scare him. Which one? The Hopping Pot? I will gladly read the Hopping Pot for you. I have one, actually. Now, I don't want to scare the small child. Do we have another child that will help volunteer? Because the Hopping Pot needs a volunteer. Oh, look at that. It's okay. Don't. It's okay. Pt.1. You were here earlier, right? You weren't. You were. You remember Beth, right? That's what you're going to do. Can you go sit up at the chair? Everybody, a small round of applause for Peeves 2.0. Whoa. Hey. I said a small round of applause. Thank you for that smattering. You saw what you did earlier? You're, how old are you, Peeves 2.0? 12. You're the same age as the girl Beth. I expect you to be just as good as she was. She was 13? She was 13. That's almost as good as a 13-year-old girl. Good job. All right, I'm now going to read the Hopping Pot for all of you, with help by Peeves. 2.0. The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. Thank you, Carol Oster. There once was a kindly old wizard who used his magic generously and wisely for the benefit of his neighbors. Rather than reveal the true source of his power, he pretended that all of his potions and antidotes sprang ready-made from a little cauldron he called his lucky cooking pot. From miles around, people came to him with their troubles, and the wizard was pleased to give his little pot a stir and put things right. This well-beloved wizard lived to a goodly age, then died, leaving behind all of his goods to his only son. But the son was different than his gentle father. Those who could not do magic were, in his mind, worthless. He had often quarreled with his father for dispensing magical aid to their neighbors. Upon the father's death, the son found hidden inside the old cooking pot a small package bearing his name. He opened it hoping for gold, but he found instead a soft, thick slipper, too small to wear and with no matching pair. A fragment of parchment within the slipper said these words, "In the fond hope, my son, that you will never need it." The son cursed his father's age-softened mind and threw the slipper back in the cauldron and decided to use it henceforth as a rubbish pail, which is English for garbage can, for those of you Muggle-born Americans. That very night, a peasant woman knocked on the front door. "My granddaughter is afflicted by a crop of warts, sir," the woman told him. "Your father used a magical potion in that old cooking pot." "Begone!" cried the man. "What do I care for your brat's warts?" And he slammed the door in the old woman's face. At once there came a loud clanging and banging from his kitchen. The wizard went and opened the door, and there, to his amazement, he saw his father's old cooking pot. It had sprouted a single foot of brass, and it was hopping on the spot in the middle of the floor, making a fearful noise. Fantastic. The wizard approached it in wonder, but he fell back hurriedly when he saw that the whole pot's surface was covered in warts. "You are brilliant. Your parents must be so proud." "Disgusting!" he cried, and he tried to vanish the pot and then to clean it by magic and finally to force it out of the house, but none of his spells worked. And he was unable to prevent the pot from hopping up after him, following him up the bed, clanging and banging very loudly the whole way. The wizard could not sleep all night for the banging of the warty old pot by his bedside, and the next morning the pot insisted on hopping after him to the breakfast table. Clang, clang, clang went the brass-footed pot. And the wizard had not even started his porridge when there came another knock on the door. This is so lifelike. An old man stood on the doorstep. "'Tis my donkey, sir. Lost she is, and without her I cannot take my wares to market, and my family will go hungry." "I'm hungry now," roared the wizard, and slammed the door on the old man. Clang, clang, clang went the cooking pot. But now the clamor was mixed of brays of a donkey and groans of human hunger echoing from the depths of the pot. "You sound so hungry." "Be still, be silent," shrieked the wizard, but not all of his magical powers could quiet the pot, which hopped on its heels all day, braying and groaning and clanging, no matter what he did or where he went. Then evening came, and there was a third knock on the door. When he opened the door, there stood a young woman sobbing as though her heart would break. "My baby is grievously ill," she said. "Won't you please help us? Your father told me that if I ever needed..." The wizard slammed the door on her. Now the tormenting pot filled to the brim with salt water, slopped tears all over the floor as it hopped and brayed and groaned and sprouted even more warts. Though no more villagers came to seek out the wizard's cottage for help, the pot kept him informed of all of their ills. Within a few days, it was not only braying and groaning and slopping and hopping and sprouting warts, it was also choking and retching, crying like a baby, whining like a dog, spewing out bad cheese, sour milk, and a plague of hungry slugs. What house do you belong to? 10 points to Ravenclaw. for acting skill. Good job. The wizard could not sleep or eat with the pot beside him, but the pot refused to leave. At last, the wizard could bear it no more. "Bring me all of your problems, troubles, and woes," he screamed, running out into the night with the pot hopping behind him. "Come, let me cure you, mend you, and comfort you. I have my father's cooking pot, and I will make you well." And with that, the foul pot still ran along behind him, up the streets, as he cast spells in every direction. Inside one house, a little girl's warts vanished. The lost donkey was summoned from a distant briar patch and came back. A sick baby was doused in dittany and woke, well and rosy. At every house of sickness and sorrow, the wizard did his best, and gradually the cooking pot beside him stopped groaning and retching and became shiny, quiet, and clean. "Well, Pot," said the trembling wizard as the sun began to rise and the pot burped out a single slipper. I expected a better burp from Peeves 2.0. And the pot burped a single slipper. He permitted the wizard to put it under the brass foot, and together they set back off to the wizard's house, the pot's footsteps muffled. But from that day forward, the wizard helped every villager, like his father before him, lest the pot cast off its slipper and begin to hop once more. The end. Come on down, honey. Now, normally I have you bow and I have you stand, and you saw what I did to Beth earlier, so you're not going to fall for that, right? Because you're clever, right? You don't know. You are the most unclever Ravenclaw I've ever met. I'm not going to embarrass you because I've met your mother. Good job, everybody. Peeves 2.0. The rest of this will be just Q&A stuff, so you know, whatever you want to do. Okay. I have to take a drink of a Pepsi product. If you take photographs of this, you have to Photoshop Coca-Cola labels over this, or else I will kill you where you stand, live, die, drink, whatever. I will kill you where you die. A truer phrase has never been spoken. Where did he kill him? He killed him where he died. Thank you. You kill zombies? Yeah? In the face. All right. If anybody asks, that was a Coca-Cola product, and we just ran out of clean cups, so we had to use a Pepsi cup. All right. For those of you who were here earlier, you saw how this went. Basically, you ask questions, and I answer them. And I, as respectful as I can be. So who has a question for Snape? Okay, you here in the front row. I will get to everybody because there's like 1/3 of the audience earlier. Always. And I say this in every group. We open up to questions. They're like, let's start off with the ones that make everybody cry first. Okay, somebody over here had a question? Yes. What was my opinion of Regulus Black, and do I think he was a better seeker than James? That's a good question. Always. When in doubt, just give out random lines. The 394. Next. Everybody loves it. Do I think he was a better seeker than James? Yes, I do. And just to make this girl happy, obviously, I was neither here nor there with Regulus Black. I was neither for nor against. It was very easy to have an opinion that was neither 100% good or 100% bad. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, thank you. Next. Yes. One, I never get caught. That's what makes it, that's why I succeed. This discussion came up earlier, and it's been talked about with a few wand people. And I know that if you attended the Wand Lore seminar, that was one of the things that the Hungarian wand shop owner suggested. Him and I have spoken about this, and as a wand crafter, of course, he tends to lean on the yes, you had more than one wand or you had two wands. And as Snape, I'm going to say no. And I'll tell you why. I have one true self, which I keep amazingly hidden from everyone, and my wand is right there with me. One true self, completely hidden. Next. Okay, we're going to go, regrettably, to Peeves. Oh, well, thank you. Well, that's a fine question. Did I have any after-school activities that I belonged to when I was? And yeah, I found it difficult to make friends. That's okay. I'd say I got better, but I didn't. I found it difficult to make friends, and I was accepted into a sort of club, if you will, which seemed like a really good idea at the time. It had the word eaters in it, and I thought there would be cake. The cake was a lie. Now, to expand, can I expand on this, Peeves? Are you busy having a separate conversation? And oh, Peeves 2.0 has to explain this to you. Okay, I understand. Okay. Yeah, it's not a Harry Potter connection. It's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I'm just kidding. Don't look at me like that. A lot of people, when they say, well, what happened and why did you have a change and what happened? Well, a lot of people join organizations because they think this is great and I belong to something and they're powerful. And I truly did seek power and I wanted to wield it like but unfortunately they went kind of a different direction than I wanted them to go. So eventually I had to change my actual allegiance or alliance. Not that they knew that. Clever. Okay, another question? Then they're too stupid to realize it. See how that goes. Yes, you. Joe Moses' portrayal of me. Is that the reason there's like 12 of you here and not 500 of you here? Well, then obviously I can't stand him. He has played with my fandom, and I will never forgive him. Do you want me to actually publicly talk about Star Kids? I'm here and they're there. I think Star Kids is unique and fun and cool, and kudos to people who are into it. It's just not my thing. And that's as negative as I'm going to speak about it into a microphone in front of cameras. No, I do. I think it's cool and I enjoy it. It's just not my bag, baby. So Snape does, Austin Powers. Yes, you here knitting in the front row. Here's what I think about that. One, I could totally do that, and I could have totally done that, and no one would be the wiser. But the truth of the matter is that no matter how much I might have considered that, having excelled at potions at such a really young age and having the one kid who tormented me steal the one thing I loved, one person I loved, I can accept that. No, I never did that. And to have done that would have been a violation of the deep, true love that we all know I feel. So, there. Too soon? You. I was interested in potions and curses long before I went to Hogwarts, so that I couldn't wait to get to Hogwarts and officially take potions class. I was eager for it long before I got there. You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Have you ever taken Felix Felicis and
I have not. See, now I don't have to ask for the second part of that. Anybody else? Questions? We will lose momentum and I'll have... Oh, over here. Thanks. No, I was never able to enjoy it. I wanted greatly to have that position early on. Unfortunately, by the time I got it, as you are all well aware, everything was falling apart. And I had to be in the Order. I had to be with the Death Eaters. I had to watch teachers get tortured. I had to be a part of great evil and defend great good and great papers. And walk the halls and never sleep. No, I was unable to enjoy it. In as much as I can enjoy anything, really. Yes. Yes. I don't need a broomstick. That's true. Look it up. That's true. You don't know this about me. We look it up. I never needed to play Quidditch. I enjoy the game moderately, but I mainly like to watch Hufflepuffs and Gryffindors get injured. And I root for Slytherin, obviously. Slytherin pride. You okay? Yes, you. Sam. Everybody, Sam. Yes, you. Oh, I'll get to you next. What does Amortentia smell like to me? To me, specifically, amaretto. She asked. Yes.
When you were a student, did you ever lose points for your house?
Every student at Hogwarts both gains and loses points for their house. Yes, I lost points for my house, largely because I had a disrespect for authority and a sense of humor that isn't easily understood by everybody. Sometimes sarcasm isn't appreciated. I'm fluent. Obviously. Welcome to Potions 394. No silly wand waving or incantations in this class. However, for those of you who possess the predisposition, don't make me quote the movie. Because then I smile, see, and it breaks character, and then people go, I went to Snape, and he just smiled and told jokes the whole time. You know why my Patronus is a doe. Did she just hear what she said? Yeah. Don't. Yes, that's more fanon than canon, but since we all know I'm Snape, we know that's true now, don't we? You had a question? Oh, I make the decision here.
I was wondering, since summer honors only did it during your time at school, why did you decide to help with the multiple education?
Because he was a professor at Hogwarts. You just answered the question. There's a difference between holding a grudge and being professional. And you can say what you want about me in regards to holding a grudge and being angry and not liking people, but at the end of the day, Neville aside, I'm a fine professor. He's just a little sensitive. She has a question first.
How's your relationship with the other professors, especially McGonagall? I know you guys have kind of a friendly competition, but
McGonagall and I are cut from a very similar cloth, and she doesn't tolerate nonsense in her class either. She's one of the few professors that I think I could openly say that I fully respect. That's about as close to friendship with me as you're going to get. You, sir.
In what days, in what ways did one part change, like before
Wow, he's just sitting here looking at that. Yeah, what question will stump? Are you playing Pokemon the whole time? Are you at least winning?
How do you lose a Pokemon?
I don't know. Do I look like I play Pokemon, Sam? How many people here imagine Snape at home going, gotta collect them all? Yeah, Peeves 2.0, okay. Or do you have a question? You're just Peeves 2.0, okay. That's a really good question, and I'm going to have to think on that one. Is that acceptable for now? Okay, thank you. Yes, you.
What was your relationship with Remus, a friend, not as, you weren't friends, but he wasn't exactly, along with James' truth, really. He was sort of neutral between
I'm listening, I showed you. Do anything, yes. We covered this briefly yesterday, and this is something that I think is young adults and adults who teach young adults, It is a wrong thing to bully somebody. It is an injustice to abuse somebody because you can. But to have the power to change something, to have the power to interfere with something, to put a stop to something, and to stand idly by and watch something makes you equally guilty. So, I didn't love him or like him, but when I think of all the bad things that happened to me and I picture what's happening, you can't overlook the fact that he stands right there and watches. So there. Yes. That's okay. You don't think Gilderoy Lockhart was a great teacher for the Defense Against the Dark Arts? You don't think he taught things the kids needed to know? Or are you an Umbridge fan? Show of hands, Umbridge fans. Wait for it. Show of hands, how many people, when they think of the absolute most evil character in Harry Potter, choose Umbridge over Voldemort? Yeah. Here's a phrase that has never come out of my mouth. Girlfriend head style. So there I was talking to Hagrid, and I was like, girlfriend head style. What do you think, Hagrid? I don't know. Pink's like the new black. That's like the good as a Hagrid voice I'm going to do. Shouldn't have said that. Sorry. And back. So, no, I find her to be the truly most evil character in the entire series. What are we having a conversation up front here? Okay. Yes, the tiny little non-committed hand raise. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of speculation as to what my Patronus was prior to Lily's demise, and there is no actual recorded documentation of what it was. And since I am Professor Snape, and this is a Q&A, and you have queued, and therefore I am obliged to A. Prior to it becoming a doe, my Patronus was a bat. Said somebody. One person. It does fit, doesn't it? I will say this. There's a lot of people who say, well, was Snape a vampire? And J.K. Rowling has been very, very specific that I am not. I will also concur with J.K. Rowling because she knows what she's talking about because she had a hand in this. I am not. You have a question? You? Oh. The vampire theory. Yeah, a lot of people speculate, and there are a lot of things in the books that allude to it, not just the swooping in and everything, but the whole homework revenge assignment thing. So there are a lot of things in the story. Oh, yes, I'm one of 3 wizards that can do that. Do you know who the other 2 are? Yep. No. Huh? No? No. Does anybody know who the 3rd wizard is? Me, Voldemort. Who's the 3rd wizard that can fly without a broom? No, without transfiguration. Who actually can fly, not apparate, but actually fly without a broom. Anybody know the 3rd one? I'll give you a hint. You want a hint? He was the literally closest person to Voldemort. Quirrell. Yes. See? Yes. I'm not going to tell you that. Well, that's great. You go to the top of the building. And if I understand Doctor Who correctly, you just believe really hard. And all your problems go away. What? Oh, real flying, not like Sherlock flying. Oh. Is that too soon? Oh, you're giving somebody the feels for Sherlock. That's so sad. How was the fake mustache thing? I assume you went. You have a real mustache, and you took a fake one anyway. You won? Because the double stash. All right, who else has good questions for me, or bad questions for me, or mediocre questions for me?
Before you were so busy with the Order and Voldemort came back, what did you do with your spare time?
What did I do with my spare time? Graded papers, mastered chess. What did you do? You read Harry's books. Patrick Paul is off my Christmas list. Okay, I'm going to start you, and then I'll work my way back out to the writer again. Yes. Today it's got candy. I don't know who has it here at the convention, but it's, as I said earlier, were you here earlier? I might have procured one while walking. The owner was stationary. The ice cream was not. I don't know where it came from here, but it was delicious. If you can find one of those cotton candy ice cream cones, go get one. They're really good. Normally, by the way, it's mint chocolate chip. Yes, you. Have I ever in my life used shampoo? I can only assume that you hang out with the Black family. No, God, I did a panel once, and Sirius came in the middle of it, walked right up to the podium, right up to me, and went, "I have something for you." And he gave me shampoo. honey badger antivenom. For those of you who want to know the answer, with the exception of Sam, who clearly knows and has access to how it should have ended. Okay, this is the thing I'm going to say, and for those of you who are slightly older, this will make a little bit more sense, but old school, old classic James Bond movies, this is how they go. Mr. Bond, I'm going to put you in this slow device that will eventually kill you. I'm going to go over here and do whatever it is I do, and I'm just going to assume that this slow, incredibly arduous, complicated death thing I put you in will eventually kill you. I have every confidence. I don't need to see it. I'm just going to leave and drive off and whatever it is I do for evil. And then Bond, of course, never dies. He goes, oh, look, the off switch. And then he leaves. And basically this is how it happened. You know, I'm down on the ground, I'm bleeding, just picture it. And the tear, and take them. And then he takes them, and then they run off. And I'm just wounded. He didn't have to go. I just said, Harry, Ron, clever girl. Fine, I will just help myself like I always do. For those of you who read the books and saw the movies, what was the first thing that I talked about in class? Brew glory, bottle fame, and even... Why would I say that if I couldn't do it? Done. I will only drop the bass 394 times. If Aaron's in the room, he's probably like, he's going to keep dropping my damn mics. Sorry for the unspeakable curse word, little person. We really need a Harry Potter to jump up right now. We did. Thank you. Thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. That was fantastic, minus the absence of the chosen one who couldn't be bothered to show up to make the end of that really funny. He's watching Star Kids. Harry Potter is a Star Kid fan. The rest of you are Snape fans. I have no idea what the time is. What's the time? I don't know. Does it matter to you? I'm going to get a chair eventually, Sam. I'm going to start making my rounds and know everybody by name. My Coca-Cola is delicious. Thank you for asking. That is the best Coca-Cola product ever. All right. Yes. Did I have a pet when I was at Hogwarts? Boy. There is never one mentioned. That's a fine question. I'm honestly very tempted to say no, and I have to think about that. And regrettably, I hate to stifle the illusion. I'm going to say no. Now, for those of you who may know, I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and everything. I am Vladimir Snape. And on Vladimir Snape's Facebook account, I actually wrote one fanfic. Now, I don't read fanfic, and a whole lot of fanfic creeps me out. A lot. They tend to put me with people I don't want to be with in ways I don't want to be. I was very clear in the books and in the movies about my status and my role and how I conducted myself. And lots of people like to write me differently. And they write me talking like a girl. I just can't wait to tell you my feelings. I have been stifled for 7 books and 8 movies. And I have all of these feelings bottled up inside of me, and I would really like to talk to you about them. And they do. Fanfic writers write Snape like that. Most of them, and I'm sorry for anybody who's in the room that may or may not be a fanfic writer. One second. I wrote one fanfic. It's about a friendship that happens between Moaning Myrtle and Professor Snape that happens within the confines of the Harry Potter universe and the books. It is a friendship and nothing else. There's nothing bad about it. Thank you. I think it's really well written, too. And in that fanfic, to answer, to hinge off your question, in that fanfic, I tell Moaning Myrtle that when everything goes the way that I know it's going to go, and in so many very brief words, to promise to do one thing for me. And she says, what? And I tell her to take care of my cat. And I tell her that I have a cat, and everything happens, and the end of the movie and it happens. And in the end of my fanfic story, Moaning Myrtle goes off looking for my cat, who I do give a name, but I don't describe. My cat's name is Albatross. So let me. You had another one? No? She had one. I'm just going to leapfrog you to this girl in a second. Why did you wear a sports outfit to an indoor convention to ask me questions when clearly you're not having a match today? I have so much house. I am house pride. I am Slytherin. I am Severus Snape, and I am Slytherin. I don't have to wear green to show house pride. It's my house. It's my party. I'll die if I want to.